Hello, everyone. It's Mark Wilkinson here. It's Life Remixed Book Club. It's chapter 14. We've got to the final one as we get my disco light on and we talk about celebrations. It's been quite a day today. I've been featured in the Daily Express and the Daily Mirror for an article helping the National Ankylosing Spondylitis Society raise awareness of the condition that has blighted me at certain times in my life. So I'm really grateful to have that coverage and also to help obviously raise awareness for other people. So that's really, really positive. Obviously, I wrote Life Remixed because I felt that it was an opportunity to tell a story that perhaps, could help other people ultimately. And that's the reason behind doing it. So with the title of Celebrations in mind, and with the fact that we have done 13 other book clubs, and the maximum amount of people I can have on StreamYard is actually 10 people. We thought we'd have a go and try and bring in an absolute shed load of guests. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them in and introduce them one by one, and obviously they can have their say on the intro as well. But I'm going to bring them in one by one because I want you to understand that obviously Life Remixed has actually reached out a long way. A really, really long way, and I think it's great to extend that reach and to help as many people as we can with all this journey that we're on. So, without further ado, let's start bringing people in. And first up is Diana. Hi, Diana. How are you?
Hi, Mark. I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. And we met because you were looking for a coach, and you reached out because you're writing your own book and you wanted some, guidance and inspiration. And it was either Tony Robbins UPW or come and join Mark Wilkinson. I remember you saying, and here we are. And one of my favourite quotes from you is that you've had 10 times the value that you invested. So I love that one. I love that one. So welcome, Diana.
Thank
it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's lovely to have you here. So next up, Jason Anker. Hello, Jason.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much.
Excellent, good to have you here. I promised to only mention this once. Jason's the only MBE with us tonight. Anyway, that's it. I'm not going to mention it again. I won't mention it again. I promise you. But Jason is a guy that I've revered for some time. He's written his own book, Paralysis to Success. He had an industrial accident when he fell from a ladder in his 20s, and he's been through a massive journey to actually be where he is today and be successful. And I love his story. You can research more about Jason, of course. He's a fantastic individual and he's inspired many people in the construction industry all around the UK and the world, I would say. Correct, Jace?
Yeah, been around the world, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And telling his story and helping other people to understand the impact of an accident, but also now a lot more about your own learnings and your own personal development as well, Jace, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I've spent the last decade sort of helping other people and still struggling myself. You're saying this last sort of 3 years, especially this last year, I'm finally helping myself a little bit more.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. Well, that's awesome. And it's lovely you're here. And thank you for joining Chapter 14 Book Club, Life Remixed Book Club celebrations. Woo! Exactly. So next up, let's bring in Julia. Hello, Julia.
Hi, Mark.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. You?
I'm really good. Thank you. You've sorted out the lighting. That's very good. The hair looks awesome. Lovely. Hair and makeup since 5 p.m. you said, didn't you? So, but we know each other from 25 years ago from Norwich and nightclubs and stuff like that.
Indeed. I think I'm only 22, Mark, so I think that's a bit of a gross estimation, but yeah. Hey.
I hear you. And yeah, so yeah, but obviously we've reconnected because of Life Remixed and the music and everything else, which is amazing. So welcome along, Julie. It's great to have you here. Next up, let's bring in Charlotte. Hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. Celebration time.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you for being here, Charlotte. It's really cool. I love it. And so Charlotte, we've known each other for, 15 years probably. We've sort of crossed paths at different times. We're in Thailand, we met, and a few other places we've been. And yet here we are together. Life Remixed has obviously come into your life, and then you're launching your own book publishing house, correct?
Yeah, Starlight Books. It's coming next week. I'm doing soft launch to family and friends this week, and so much gratitude to Life Remixed because it just really gave me the permission to just go for it. You know,
amazing.
thank you.
No, it's amazing. It's great to have you here, Charlotte, and thanks for being a part of it. Next up, let's bring in, here she is, Penny.
Oh,
Hi, Penny.
hi.
You okay?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, good, thank you. So Penny's my old school friend. I used to sit 2 rows behind her in our form class, and we probably used to like ping stuff at each other and stuff like that. But no, Penny's amazing. And Penny's quote that she said was she was looking for some inspiration, and particularly Bob Proctor, and she ended up finding her old schoolmate. Who'd written a book. So bless you, Penny. It's lovely to have you here as well. Next up, let's bring in Pete. Hello, Pete.
Evening, everybody. Evening, Mark.
How are you? Okay.
I'm good, mate. Not too bad.
Otherwise known as Peteski or Dancing Dad. Pete's a feature of our Saturday night DJ mixes. I've known Pete for probably 12 years. We've often spoken about I was the sort of little calming influence on him when he was on site, and there was all sorts of stuff going on. Pete and I have kept in touch for a long, long time, and he's got his own story to share. He's got his own story to share coming up, which is great. And I'm really grateful for you to being here, Pete, because I know how much you believe in what's going on now.
No, I couldn't miss the celebration, mate.
Bless you, mate. Bless you. So next up, let's bring in Gary. Hello, Gary. Yeah, okay. It was going to work, nearly. Boys.
You're right. You can hear me now, right?
I can hear you now. I was going to say, tell your son to switch off the PS4, and then okay, that's fine. It's great to have Gary here, all the way from where are you, Gary? East London, Essex. There you go. Okay, well, he's I want to say he's my favourite. I want to say he's my favourite West Ham fan. But anyway, let's move on from that one. Next up, the one. Oh, and by the way, Gary. The way Gary met me was through looking for some inspiration, looking for online for a coach and a book, and he read it and he got stuck into it. Great to have Gary here. He's a top fella. And then the next one, the furthest away person. I'll just bring him in right now, all the way from South Africa. Lloyd. Hello, Lloyd. You need to unmute yourself. There you go.
Sorry, I've got that covered. I'm very well. Yourself?
You're so smooth, Lloyd. You're so smooth. Yeah. I'm really good, thank you. All the way from South Africa. Lloyd saw my interview, I think, with Fatboy Slim a couple of weeks ago, and was inspired to reach out to me.
Yeah, I think it was just that, we've walked very similar paths and, eventually walked into the light. And it was an opportunity for me to try and spread what you are doing down here in South Africa and just keep fanning the fire. And since we did our interview and since I've been exposing people over here to what you do, it's been like a bushfire. I get lots of messages every day. And it's just, I think it's about collectively spreading positivity. And it's been worth every minute.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And actually, Lloyd, you've been good enough to hook me up with Chris Herbert, who's now going to be my next straight talking guest at the end of the month. Yeah. He's the guy that founded the Spice Girls and boy band Five. So he's going to be joining us on the last Wednesday of the month. So thank you, Lloyd. I'm looking forward to talking with Chris a lot more. He's going to be a fascinating guest, starting the world's biggest girl band, certainly. So
before that, it was his dad that founded Bros. So when I was in Bros, it was Bob Herbert that was the manager of Bros. And then when that all happened, Chris Herbert went off with his dad, and they auditioned the Spice Girls up and down church halls across the UK. And then after that came Five. But he's done well for himself.
Yeah, he's brilliant. I'm looking forward to meeting him. He's a very, very nice guy. So we're going to have some great conversations with Chris. So thank you, Lloyd. And last but not least, and I'm worried about this one, if I'm honest with you. I am worried about this one. I mean, Lloyd's in South Africa, and he might as well be next door. Look at him. He's bang on. The internet's bang on. Gav is in London somewhere, and I'm really worried. I'm really worried about bringing him in because this could go horribly wrong. So let's try it. He's not. I can't even see him on the screen, but let's bring him in. Yeah, no. Oh, Gav. So hang on, logging in somewhere else. So let's remove that. Let's try Gav one more time. Gav.
Hello, Mark. You do not want to know how much I've been running around this house in the conservatory, trying the laptop. Now I'm on the phone. So yeah, me and StreamYard aren't friends. Hello, everyone.
Well done, Gav. Stick an extra 50p in the meter.
And I even reset the router and everything, and I checked it on the speed test and everything. So I have no clue what's going on.
We've managed to get Lloyd on from South Africa, and you.
I know, right? And I'm in North London, and I don't know what it is with me and StreamYard. So I'm here anyway. So hello, everyone.
So I'm getting a few. Let's just throw a few messages up on the screen. Yeah, so you can all see this. So evening, Mark from the Pyrenees. Graham's in the Pyrenees, and someone else says it's the last book club. They've all been so great. Good thing they will be on YouTube forever. Exactly, they will. Jim says, "Hi guys, love the book. It was awesome. Thank you so much." Jack's just saying, "Go on, pen." I think talking to you. And someone else says they need to continue essential Tuesday night viewing. Can we restart chapter 1? Well, we shall see. We shall see what happens next. But anyway, look, it's celebration. It's chapter 14. We've made it to the lot. Every single one of you has been involved in one way or another. And I just want to thank every single one of you, go on record to say every single one of you, thank you for being here. Thank you for reading the book. And more importantly, thank you for engaging and also sharing your own information, your own stories to help others. Because that's ultimately like what we're doing here, like ripples in a pond. We send out positive messages and we get to where we need to get to. So before I jump into all the questions that I sent you all last night, which I know you've all read because I've checked and you've all been on it. You've all checked the email. You all know what's going on. Yes. Before I do that, just any of you that have seen Ramesh Ranganathan when he does the Ranganation with lots of people on the screen, this game is in no way like what he does. It's a complete opposite of what he does. However, we are going to play a game of trousers or no trousers at the end tonight. Okay, so you know who you are. You know who you are on the screen. Okay, who's not wearing trousers. But we're going to do trousers or no trousers towards the end of the show tonight, just to round it off. All right. So I'm looking forward to seeing who that will be. You guys watching, wherever you're watching from in the world, you can start to guess about trousers or no trousers a little bit later. So let's get into chapter 14, shall we? So chapter 14 is celebration. I nearly called the chapter "I Believe in Miracles, Don't You?" because literally, you know, it's such an inspiring title, you know, but celebration was possibly a song by Kool and the Gang, I'm not sure. But then I wrote "I'm Still Standing" by Elton John. Some great quotes from Robin Sharma, Jim Rohn, and just something about, you know, being successful, understanding celebration. So what I would say is the Jim Rohn quote is, "Success is something you attract by the person you become." And I think it's really important that we all become better individuals all the time, as I've learned. The more we get better and better, and the more opportunities we've got of actually attracting the business and the life and the love and everything else that we would like. And I think that's a really important message. So I've fired out a few questions, and I'm going to come to each of you kind of in turn. Gav, I think that's you breathing. Hold on. Hold on. I've just muted him. Hold on. I've just muted him. Yeah, it is. It was Gav breathing. It was Gav. I've muted you. I can't hear you. I've muted you for the time being. I'll unmute you when I come to ask you a question. All right? You're so good at this internet stuff, Gav. You're so good. So I have to keep you muted, Gav, because it is very off-putting having a real deep breathing person. Anyway, let's move on. So let's start. I'm going to start with Lloyd and Jason. Actually, my first question. Let's go to Jason first. Jason, what I've written here is there are two ways to live your life. One is that nothing is a miracle, and the other that is everything is a miracle. What do you think about that? Particularly, I guess, with what you've been through as well, and over the last 25 years. You know, how do you feel about that statement?
It's perfect. It sums me up where I'm it's a choice. Choose where to be in life. You know, since my accident in 1993, 28 years ago, I'd say for at least 25 years, I've really struggled. Even though at times, you know, I've had compensation, I've got 2 good businesses, I've got a nice house, got the cars, got some money in the bank. Yet I was blissfully unhappy. because it was all about what I lost. So no matter what I got, I'd always focus on what I'd lost. The wheelchair for me, that's sitting every day, represented everything I lost. So my relationship with the wheelchair was horrendous. It was the first thing I see every morning when I wake up. So you can imagine the moods I get in every morning. So I wake up and it's like, here we go again, the wheelchair, what I have to go through. And yet, the last 3 years, and especially this last year, I just flipped my emotions. I attached the memories and for the positive and everything I can think of. And I think the best thing for me is, I wrote my book a couple of years ago. I got help to write a book. And then reading your book, Mark, it was the similarities. We talked about this, on camera personally as well. I made phone calls with that between and what have you. There's so many similarities, and yet it's that understanding. I think everybody's got their own trauma. Everybody's got their own story. I've stopped being a victim. I'm not a victim of wheelchair accident anymore. I was a victim for so many years, which give me the excuse of taking drugs, drinking too much. I always have the ultimate excuse, yeah, but I'm in a wheelchair. So all my bad behaviour, what I did, I'd always have that ultimate excuse of, getting out of situations. I've been horrendous. I'm so ashamed of some of the things I've done, but I've done them. I can't change my past, what I've done, but I can change my future. But also I think and it's only sort of last 6 months, and it might be speak to you in the book and everything, I suffer anxiety. For me to say it, trying to hide it for so long behind alcohol or whatever I used to do to appear to be normal, if that's the correct word, and the realization now that, I suffer anxiety. I mean, I've had a bad week, actually. I've been a bit sketchy this week, but a bereavement on both aunties passed away, and got some family issues going on at the moment, but I'm dealing with it so much better, and I've stopped drinking. So since the new year, I don't drink. I'm not saying I'm alcohol free, but so far I've not had one. And I feel so much better. So this week, wasn't I tempted to have a drink? I think at times, I need a drink, but I don't. And we're getting through it. So my problems are still there. They haven't gone away, but I'm dealing with it in a lot better way. So for me, what he says, the question is just perfect. It's just how you choose to look at something.
Well, I think what's interesting there is that, essentially over the last 3 years, your life hasn't really changed, that much in the last few years, but your mindset and your emotions has changed completely.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
To a real positive. So that's brilliant, mate. So now let's all support Jason as well in living like everything is a miracle. You know what I mean? Everything is a miracle, and it's a positive thing to do. So let's come across to Lloyd. Lloyd, how you doing?
Very well.
So what do you think about that statement? 2 ways to live your life. One is that nothing is a miracle, and the other that everything is a miracle.
I live my life. I've almost substituted the word miracle for coincidence, right. And I live consciously. So I listen to my moral compass that makes my decisions for me now. I don't make good decisions for myself, but my moral compass, remember we talked about the crossfader, my moral compass makes good decisions, and the universe puts opportunities in front of me every day. There was a reason I saw that truck go past with that advert on the side. It might be that I took a photo of it with my phone and I need to follow them up because it might be a new sponsor for one of my shows. But I think, I am a miracle. I went to rehab 5 times with drug and alcohol problems, and I'm now nearly 11 years clean and sober. That in itself is a miracle that I'm standing from that. And then, my jet ski accident nearly 2 years ago, I was in ICU for 6 weeks, and I was told I wasn't going to walk again. And, by the grace of God, I'm walking again, and I'm doing my thing. But I think, they're massive miracles, but I choose to take on board a miracle in bite-sized chunks. And bite-sized chunks is little miracles which the universe presents me with every day. And if I'm awake and I'm positive and I'm not hiding under my duvet thinking life is shit, then I allow those miracles or those coincidences to transpire in my life. And it's stupid little things. I don't meet anyone by chance. Everyone I meet was put there by the universe because there's an opportunity. And like even meeting yourself and all these wonderful people here, there's going to be opportunities downstream. We're all going to bump into each other and say, oh my God, we could do this or we could do that. That's not a coincidence. It's a miracle. So coincidence and miracle, I kind of put it together as the same thing. And I live my life. Every day is a miracle for me. I mean, when I was in my 5th rehab, I didn't think I could ever do it. And I can assure you, if I could do it, anybody can. But I live and I look for little miracles every day. And my little miracles are, oh, that advert came on TV and I've been meaning to ring that company because I think I should sell them something that I'm doing. And now I'm wide awake. My eyes are open to opportunity. And when I see these things or I meet these people, I jump on them and I action everything that the universe puts in front of me. And what that is a series of little miracles. And if I join them all together and I keep doing it, life is good, you know? So it's,
exactly
you know,
right.
miracle coincidences is something.
I think there's a great quote that says, let's not look back in anger or forward in fear, but around us in awareness. And I think, you know, if we can actually have that awareness around us at any given moment, like literally, I was listening today to the radio and there was this bit of PR they were talking about. And I was like, I can use some of that for Life Remixed. And if I'm remodel it, it will, you know, and it's just being aware, isn't it? It's just listening and going, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. There's no brand new ideas. It's all just good stuff coming to you as long as you're aware of what's going on. So
I think it's living consciously, and sometimes you meet people and you're destined not to do business with them, but that gut feeling will tell you that as well. So it's not like the universe presents only the good stuff, because that wouldn't be real. That it's not, you know, it's no walk in the park, is it? We all know that. But you know, so we take the good with the bad. But if we look for the good in everything we do, and we follow up all these little coincidences, and we follow up all these little universal nudges that we get 10 a day of, and we probably follow 2. If we start following up the universal nudges, we will forward ourselves.
One of my favourite little stories about you, and I notice it with Frankie the puppy as well, is your dog that stands at the top of the stairs dancing in the morning, going, "Come on, it's another day, let's go, let's go."
So happy.
You know,
It's another day.
That's right, and I think that if we can all learn from Lloyd's dog, go on, mate.
I was actually going to film her yesterday morning at the top of the stairs, and I was just going to WhatsApp that little video to you. So you can, I mean, this dog is 75 kilos. Yeah. It's called a Bulbul. It's a South African Mastiff. So it's a huge dog. I'll film it and I'll put it on the group. We would remind me every morning. We should be so excited that the sun's up again and we're here and we've got another day, you know.
Good on you, mate. Good on you. Thank you. So thanks for Lloyd and Jason there. That was awesome. I'm going to go around the whole group, so everyone's going to get a really good opportunity to speak as well. So thanks, guys, for your answers to that. Let's come to Pete and Penny this time. So if we'll unmute. I'm conscious of background noise, so I think if we can unmute Pete and Penny. There we go. There we go. So Pete, let's come to you first. So after all our learnings, everything we've known each other for such a long time, what's the true meaning of wealth to you right now?
I would say, you know, I chased wealth for many, many years, as you know, mate. You know what I mean?
Money. You chased money for very many years.
And I did. I really, really tried, you know, and I did. You know, I had a 6-figure salary. You know, I was earning some decent wages. You know, we all have somewhere we was aiming to be. And, and that's where I thought, you know, I was aiming to be this wealthy person. My life would be rich and, you know, I could do all these things. But it's not right, mate. It's wealth. It's almost the same as being rich. You know, you should substitute that word. And rich means more to us because when you enrich your life, it's not about money. You know, it doesn't come down to money. Wealth is not all about money. No, wealth gives you, you know, the money gives you, you know, as you said many times, it gives you the freedom to do these things, which will bring you the happiness. But money, it's not about money. And, you know, I've done many, many things throughout my life, which cost absolutely nothing. Absolutely not a penny spent. You know, giving 1,000 orphans in South Africa Christmas presents, you know, for charity, we gave it all out, and that was like the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. And it didn't cost me a penny. It just cost me some time, you know. It's the same, and you know, you've mentioned it in your book about, you know, purpose and all the rest of it, and you know, and I can't remember what you called it when you drew the sort of the boxes and you put the family in there and the time and your personal time and everything else. And I literally went and did that, and I started sort of marking myself down and scoring it. And I thought, you know, I was so focused on my career and becoming this person that, you know, I almost wanted to, you know, have this. And I was a true leader, you know, as you know, I had, you know, 160, 200 guys working for me at a time. And, you know, and that's that place where I was trying to get. And when I looked at my life and I wrote it all down, I was missing so many things.
Yeah.
And, you know, we talked about it on many occasions, and what it took me, you know, COVID and the whole situation that we've all been through really brought it home to me. And I took that massive step back, wrote it all down, and I made a purpose plan to go out there and correct every single thing that I was missing. And you became a part of that, Matt, because you came up and saw me. You know, we went golfing and everything, and I thought, you know, it's little things like that. And how much fun did we have, mate? You know.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was perfect summer weather, beautiful golf course, beautiful hotel, and thank you for your hospitality, Pete. And we had a lovely weekend, Emma and I. And what I would say is we called that the fulfillment grid. And I think you fill out the 9 boxes and you see which areas of your life are kind of missing. And if you kind of actually, I'm not doing anything in that area, but maybe that's why I'm feeling a bit empty or a bit unfulfilled. So I think it's really, really important to start to get that level of awareness. That's something we do in the 12 months to Remix Your Life coaching program, and we'll be doing it at live events and all sorts of stuff coming up. So Pete, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not just about money, but you did mention the word penny about 3 times in your answer, and she's right next to you on the screen. So Penny, my old school friend. From like well, okay. Well, I think we were in 1C to 5C. I think we were in the classes. Anyway, whatever. Wealth to you, and how you found me, and how you're feeling now compared to what you were.
Well, to start off with, I started very young. Obviously, those of you that know me know I had a daughter at 18. Wealth was the furthest thing from my mind because I was on the breadline. So money was just, how can I earn it? How can I feed her? How can I raise her? So wealth really didn't come into it. Later on in life, obviously, I've gone through quite a few milestones, different things have happened. And I decided that I needed to show Stacey that mums can achieve even on your own. So I just studied and studied and studied and studied. I wanted to better myself more than anything else. I can honestly say money really, it came into it, but it wasn't my focus. My focus was achievement for me, to say that to everybody that looked at me and said, you can't do it. 18 with a kid, I can do it. And I've done it. And I'm still doing it. And I achieved quite a few milestones, worked hard, got where I wanted to be. And then COVID hit and my beautiful new business, all like a shiny new penny, shut. And I was like, what? What's going on? I'm shut. And that's when I started looking around thinking, I've always had, the universe has always swung in and out of my life, or swung in and out when I've been positive, I suppose. When I look back now and think of the milestones I put in place, I will achieve that, I will get that, I'll do that. I had purpose, vision, and my goal. COVID hit and all my goals and all my visions and all my purpose just come piling down, really. And I started looking around, looking at books, looking at this, looking at, again, not really wealth. I wasn't looking for wealth. And Bob Proctor kept coming up on my stream on Facebook. And I went into Bob Proctor a little bit and I found you. And I thought, I wonder what he's doing. I remember him. From school. We used to love.
We used to go to rectory with him.
What we did, especially Emma. You're happily.
Stop that. You know that's not true. Keep going.
Anyway, I'm working with you to find my purpose my goals and my vision. But wealth for me right at this minute is family's health and my health. It's not about the money. It's not about the bills are paid and everything. I'm wealthy. But it's about health, family, very much at the moment. Very much.
And I would jump in on that and say that, you know, health is wealth, obviously, is a well-known phrase, but we have to think about mental and physical health.
Yeah.
You know, you only have to think about what Jace was saying earlier about the sort of like, you know, challenges that he's had, you know, going through, or, you know, with such a life-changing moment in his life, you know, but to go through that and then all of a sudden kind of have this sort of change and see the light and know that, you know, it's every day. I think Graham's just written, and he says, yes, Lloyd, you're correct. Every day above ground is a good day. You know, that's the point. You know, the point of this is that, you know, when we're in that vibration, and then we look around in awareness, we can see more ideas, more avenues open up, more things start to happen, and you suddenly go, oh, you know, and all these things start to come together. And honestly, all you need to do, if you're not a believer, if you're watching this and you don't really believe it, just track my progress and all of these guys' progress over the next 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years. And you watch what they all achieve, because we get into a positive mindset and then we just keep going and we keep going. And if we do get knocked off course for a bit, that's all right. Okay, we dust ourselves off, or we have a little rest and we get our energy, and then we go again and we do it better. And the point is that when you bring that energy to what you're doing, Penny, and all power to you. I love the fact that we're you know, in so much contact now, and you know, you've got a beautiful family, and I know they've all been to e-colours and they're all watching the relationship interview that I did with Emma and all that kind of stuff. You know, all of this stuff is wonderful, and I'm so glad that we can work together and that I'm in a position that I can add value to you. So thank you for your kind words. Right, if you could let's just stick you on mute, Pen, for a minute.
All right.
I've got that. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Right. So next up, we're going to come to Diana and Julia. And let's go to Julia first. Actually, let's unmute Julia and have a quick chat with her. Because Diana, I know we're going to talk. I want to talk a bit about your book as well, obviously. So I'll unmute you, Diana, as well, if I can. Can't unmute. Okay. You need to unmute yourself, Diana. But I'll come to you in a sec. So Julia. What I wrote here is that this is what the next question is: do you believe that in every crisis there is an opportunity? And if I say that actually you contacted me about the book and obviously the DJ mixes that I'll be doing on Saturday night, and then you were like, I've read this book twice, and I think you might have even read it again, I'm not sure, but I think you almost read it once just to go all the way through it, and then a second time to sort of go through it in a bit more detail. And you resonated with a lot of it yourself. But the crisis and opportunity, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always believed in that very definitely. And I think really just the COVID situation. And for me personally, what happened was with COVID, as you know, my husband's in healthcare. I was in healthcare. So it was a kind of massive scare. And, you know, I was terrified, and I was lying in bed most nights unable to sleep. And I started to reconnect with all my old DJ friends and all these people in groups about music. And that was how I spent my night, was listening to music, you know, this kind of thing. And that then led me to you. And the rest kind of is history, really, as far as I'm concerned. So I very much saw that as a crisis, essentially, turned into an opportunity for me personally. And also just across the world, there's been some really good deeds done with COVID, you know, people volunteering their time for the NHS, people vaccinating, even like the advent of online stuff, you know, because of COVID, you know, everything had to go online, schooling, you know, my work, everything. So definitely a crisis and opportunity. But for me personally, to reconnect with you, I've made some great friends along the way, people that I now think I'll probably stay in touch with. And again, just resonated with, you know, the moment I saw Diana, I was like, yeah, we're mates. We love each other.
and Pete as well, dancing dad, of course.
Pete and I, yeah, I mean, you know, Pete loves my voicemails, but other than that, you know, we more just connect. We've all got this something in common. And for me, as I said, it was very much music, but definitely with you. You know, I've had some great conversations with you over opportunities, and you're very good for me, I have to say.
Thank you, Julia. I appreciate that. And what I would add to that as well, before I move to Diana, what I would add to that is that Julia has an amazing singing voice. And watch this space, because I keep trying to coach her and coax her into like actually putting something down so she can send it to me so I can take it to the studio and produce up her voice, because I think she can do it. And the other night, I'll let you into a little secret. She sent me a WhatsApp chat. She sent me a Facebook chat, and she said something about like, yeah, my voice is always not very soulful. And I was a little bit, it was late and I was a bit tired, and I just wrote back, and I was very blunt, and I apologize for the bluntness, Julia, but I literally just went, I don't care what it isn't.
And you actually said, we do keep going over this.
We do keep going over this. We do. It's like, I don't care what your voice isn't. I know what it is. I know it's good. So let's focus on what's good and let's go for that. So that was a little jab for you, Julia. But I know you took it well and as it was meant. And I'm looking forward to us making beautiful music together. There you go. How's that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's go across to Diana then. I'll just mute you set for a sec there, Julia. There we go. So Diana, every crisis there's an opportunity. What do you think about that? I've read your book, by the way, so I know the answer.
Yeah, and I think, that's a really good question. And I think when I was younger, I wouldn't have, I would have thought, well, no, I wouldn't have understood that. But now I'm kind of grateful for all the adversity that I've gone through and the trauma and that, because it's made me the person that I am now. So, yeah, and I think what I think about that is that now I've got more confident about that. So now instead of thinking, because, life is life. None of us are going to experience a life that's going to be hunky-dory all the time. And we will experience crises. But now I'm more confident about looking at what is that message for me? What is that? What do I need to learn from this? What am I going to take from this? How am I going to change things? Or, what does it mean? A little bit like, as you said, Lloyd, you said that, the universe has messages for you. So sometimes, instead of thinking that this is going to be, it's a disaster or it's not going right, what do I need to learn from this? I'm much more confident in the process now, which is really good.
Absolutely. And I can't wait. And remind everyone of your book title, please, Diana.
Frontline Memoirs from Both Sides of the Track. And you'll be pleased to know I've finished.
Hey, another celebration. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yes, Diana, well done. Yeah, you did set a deadline at the end of July to get it done, and you've done it.
It's been working with you that I've managed to sort of, pull it out of the bag and get to that point. So, yeah, thank you for that. But, yeah.
I always give everyone my best energy, because what else is there? Do you know what I mean? What's the point if I don't do that, right? So, and I think that's what helps me write books, helps me coach, helps me make music, and helps me connect with every one of you lovely people. And a few messages coming up. So Calvin's just saying, hi, you lovely bunch of people. Emma's saying, can't wait to read Diana's book. And Matt is saying, love the book, Mark. Keep up the great work, mate. Matt Hollister there. Jason Thornton's joined us. There's so many people here. It says, Jason, you're an inspiration to so many people, and Lloyd, wise words. So loads of people connecting with us, guys. One of the things I would say as well is about, changing that mindset of life. I love this Anthony Hopkins quote that comes up quite a lot on the internet. You see, it's credited to Anthony Hopkins. He says, none of us are getting out of here alive. So should we just eat the good food, dance to the music, enjoy ourselves, find what a passion, do what we love to do? It's true, isn't it? I mean, one day, I don't want to go into it deeply now, but one day every single one of us will be sitting on our rocking chair, and I want us all to look back and go, yes, that was awesome. Not like I know Gary. I'll come to Gary in a bit, but Gary's got this. One of his favourite quotes is something I shared with him about Earl Nightingale, when he says most people are tiptoeing through life hoping to get safely to death, rather than actually going, do you know what? Let's do something and let's actually make changes and get moving. So thank you, Diana. Yes, your book's going to be awesome, and I'm looking forward to many, many people supporting you and your journey, and you joining us more and more in what we're doing as well. So let's keep moving on. Let's keep the pace, keep the momentum. So we're going to come to Charlotte, Gary, and Gav. I think Gav's all right, but Gav, I'll unmute you last here, mate, if that's all right. Yeah, just to keep him smiling, because we're good. I think you might have nailed it on the internet. That's good. So let's go to Charlotte first. Charlotte, favourite moment or highlights of Life Remixed? What have you got for us?
I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to have two. First quick one is, I just love mundane motivation. I know, Diana, you're always there. I'm sure some of the others on this call are, and I know loads of people watching tune in for that. You're just so enthusiastic at 8 o'clock on a Monday morning. I'm just like, that is not the best time of the week for me. And to start the week right is so, so, so important. And there's this kind of energetic, kind of half man, half puppy on the computer, kind of firing Barack Obama quotes at you, just going, you fired up. And by the end of that, and I'm always making breakfast for my daughter at that time, because it's kind of trying to get her off to nursery. But by the end of it, I'm just like practically dancing around the kitchen. So I love Monday motivation. And then on a personal level, just signing up for the year-long coaching and also seeing your book launch, Life Remixed, because I'm doing the same like Diana. I'm sure others of you too that want to put books out there, just seeing it happen and seeing your positivity, enthusiasm, celebrating that book launch night was so amazing, like the feeling. And it was just all about feeling that feeling for myself, really, and here I am now just about to launch my first children's book, and that is so thanks to this community, the energy of, because I was doing things towards it before coming to Life Remixed, but the catalyst of being here and the permission to just not wait for anybody else's permission has definitely come here. So yeah, I'm just so happy to be here.
Oh, bless you, Charlotte. Yeah, I think, what anyone else thinks of you is none of your business, and comparison is the thief of joy. Two beautiful quotes that I picked up from other people, but I use them all the time. We hold ourselves back so much, it's kind of like, I don't know. It took me 10 years of rebuilding myself from the bankruptcy to actually like get out of the corporate world and then put this book out. But I had my reasons and I knew what I was doing. But I had the vision, I had the goal. I was like, this is what's going to happen. And I'm going to let you into a little story. Actually, this is quite fun. So the day that I left my last corporate job, and most of you know what happened. Kind of got the old tin tack, but it was it was a very mutual decision. The boss that was involved in it, my team, I had a team of 5 people, and the team were very upset about the fact that I was leaving. Well, of course, right? Anyway, the team of the team were very upset that I was leaving, and obviously so abruptly. And I was talking to one of them later, and apparently the guy, the boss that I didn't work well with, he basically sacked me and fired me. He's turned around to him at one point. He said, "Don't you worry about Mark. You'll see him on TV soon." Now we're not quite on TV, although I have been on Lloyd's TV. I know that. I've been on some of Penny's family's TV. I know that. So Emma, with the YouTube channel and everything, he was right. Yeah. So sometimes people will just predict things and they actually come true in your life. And So I think that even a negative moment, or you could perceive it as a negative moment, you can actually twist it and go, no. There's a message here, as Diana said there as well, as Jason. Every one of you gets this. There's a message in the pain. There's a message in the negativity. What is it? I need to learn something. Okay. I want us all to be living here. If most of us are sort of in our 40s and 50s, I want us all to be until we're 80, 90, 100. And the way we're going to do that is positive mental attitude and putting great creativity out into the world and helping as many people as possible along the way. So that's the way we're going to do that for sure. So thank you, Charlotte. That was absolutely lovely. Let's come to Gary next. Can you unmute yourself, Gary?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah, I can hear you, mate. You sound like you're at the end of a very dodgy phone line, but we'll go with it, my friend. We'll go with it. So, favourite moment or highlights? Because you've been you've been a client, a coaching client, and become a friend for quite some time before the book came out, if I remember correctly. Yeah, no, I think we're celebrating our year anniversary since we got started as well. So we're piling on the celebrations, but. I think, what Charlotte said, that us thinking about it myself is probably, it's just the energy that I got from you that I needed in my life and continue to need, and now taking that further with how this community is building up, the support that you get from the community, just the whole vibe and energy is everything, and it's there's nothing but positive vibes, and that's the best thing about Life Remixed for me. That's it. We all support each other. That's the point. We all support each other on our journey. We've got our coaching clients group. We've got connections. We've got this. We've got a private coaching clients call on Thursday evening. This is all good stuff, and just going back to what Charlotte said about enthusiasm, entheos is a big thing. It's actually a Greek word where enthusiasm comes from, and entheos actually means God within. And so, when you're enthusiastic about life, that actually came from the thing about, a godlike state, and that's what we need to be in, whatever your version of, just be enthusiastic at all times, and you're always going to feel in a good place. Hang on, this is quite funny. I worked with Graham in Saudi Arabia for a few months, and he's a lovely guy, and he's just popped this up and reminded me, I always said to you, you would end up as the chairman of ICI, but you've done better. Thank you, Graham. That's brilliant. I remember you saying that to me, mate. That was a really good moment in my life as well, because I was miles outside of my comfort zone there working in Saudi, but I nailed it, and it was good. So thank you, Graham. So Gav, let's come across to Gav. Shall we? Everyone keep their fingers crossed. Okay. Well, Gav.
I can hear you, you know.
Gav, how are you, mate?
Well, I'm still breathing, Mark, much to your annoyance. Is that what it's come to now? Like, my breathing's annoyed him. Like, it's like the honeymoon period's over. We've done our 5 months, and now, like, you're breathing. I've got to mute you.
You never annoy me, mate. But tell me about your favourite moments, because obviously you told me about the fact that you hadn't read a book since you left school. No, what are the 2 books you read since leaving school?
It's Billy Connolly's autobiography and Graham Roberts' The Spurs Club. Yeah.
Didn't even get it when you got to Chelsea. Like, come on. No. So you'd read 2 books since leaving school. You know, you've been on your own journey. You know, obviously we worked together quite closely, and then all of a sudden, Life Remixed and Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, kind of land in your lap. And you know, you've had some life-changing moments even in the last few months. But highlights of sort of Life Remixed. What's jumping out at you?
Well, it's that general overall package. So everything is just like combined to make one massive change that's ongoing. So whilst I have lots of little moments that I love, like that are in the book, got lots of little moments like your Friday video, I thought was just a mind blower. Loved that. But it's the general effect that you're having on me as a whole. And I'm not even like done yet. Do you know what I mean? So it's a combination of, like somebody else said, I can't think who it was, about I think it was Gary and a few others have mentioned your positivity. So you're coaching and you're nudging and you're cajoling in the right direction. The books you're getting me to read, which is a massive thing anyway. Reading the books for me is a biggie because, as we've said, like 2 books in 35 years. So, and it's the books you're getting me to read, and I'm just absorbing it all. And I'm changing, I'm metamorphosizing, do you know what I mean? And I'm constantly changing, and it's just amazing. And sometimes I don't realize how much, Mark, to be fair.
Well, we are just warming up, and you were actually my guest on the chapter Happy, weren't you?
I was.
And I actually, after that, we watched that, and I actually went on and I checked on the internet. Pharrell's Happy is still there as a video. It's 24 hours of happy.com.
Yeah,
and
amazing.
You watch it. You can watch that. They just made a video the last 24 hours. And anytime you log in, you just find a new person dancing and singing Happy and all that.
Right.
It was just, you know, the stimulation of the conversation between you and me. I was like, Happy. Let's watch that. So I know you've had some great takeaways. One of the things I would say is that we're just warming up, Gav.
Love that. And it's true.
We are just warming up. So the other stuff I would say as well is if you want to subscribe on the YouTube channel, of course you can. All the videos are there. And what I would say also is that Charlotte just reminded me as well about the launch party, and I wrote it down in my notes when I started crying, and that's on the internet forever. There's no escape of me bawling my eyes out. But the reason I did that was because that endorsement video from Bob Proctor really was, a real moment that I can have that for the rest of my life. And play that to people, because one of the top self-development, gurus and teachers in the world has actually said that, Mark, you're awesome and you're doing a great job. Now, that's nice to hear, right? I mean, it's nice to get some praise from someone who's lived it and breathed it and is 37 years older than me. So that was awesome. Thank you very much for that, Gav. I really, really appreciate your input as well. So let's come to, and you're all right now. Your heavy breathing seems to have stopped. So
yeah, do you know what that was? I put my microphone just so that you could hear me. I can adjust where it was. So it was just a little adjustment.
Drop it down a little bit and we're good.
That's what I've done, yeah.
Okay, well done. Okay, good man. So let's keep going. So we'll go to Pete and Diana this time. So what have you got to celebrate since reading Life Remix? Well, Diana, obviously you've kind of told us a little bit about the book. Obviously you can celebrate that, but let's come to Diana first. any other celebrations for you, Diana?
Yeah, well, I think really just moving on, you know, making the progress that I've made. And, you know, I was going to save this for our Thursday coaching session, but, you know, I've now commissioned an editor, and Hay House editor, to do an editorial assessment first of it, and then she will then do the copy editing. But I think, you know, it's just like I've moved light years ahead, really, you know, from 10 years really kind of, you know, trying to get it out, trying to write it, and, you know, working out what I'm going to do. I feel like I'm really making a lot of progress now, like really quickly. So yeah, and that's down to Life Remixed and the coaching and everything. So yeah, that's what I've got to celebrate. And there's loads more to come.
I was going to say, we're just warming up. We're just warming up. You know, I think it's a brilliant thing to be celebrating, and it's a great achievement to get a book and become an author and put it out into the world. It certainly changed my life, and I'm looking forward to my second and my third and my fourth, and the ongoing experience with every one of you guys as well. Absolutely. Let's go on to Pete. Pete, what have you got to celebrate? What since reading the book and the changes?
Obviously, our story, Mark, you know, we had the conversation, you know, we'll come back to that one in more detail, I'm guessing, sometime, because I think it's a fabulous story to be told. But, you know, I did make that decision to leave my job with a bit of a nudge from yourself. Fast forward to where I am now. I've just finished a project down at Dartford and for Amazon UK, and to be told by Amazon that we are the only company to have ever delivered one of their projects on time in Europe stands, you know, and that was from last year to where I am now. And then, you know, obviously I have a client, not directly to, you know, we're a subcontractor through another company, but he then picked up the phone and gave me a personal call and asked if he could pass my details on to other suppliers, you know, to tell them that he's got this guy in the UK that can deliver these projects on time, you know.
So
Jeff, something to celebrate, you know.
Jeff Bezos on line one. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and I've also found love, you know.
Yes.
You know, yeah, something to celebrate. And I did, you know, okay, maybe I didn't actually write it down, Matt, but you always said, you know, you've got to first have all these things yourself, you know, believe in yourself. You've got to, you know, be honest, all these things, you know, and I sort of looked it deep inside and, you know, and looked at where I've maybe gone wrong in the past. We did a lot of reading. We shared books, you know, The Way of the Superior Man. I really dug deep and looked at, you know, where I've maybe made some mistakes in my life before, in relationships. And then I sort of just let the universe do the rest. And it did. And I actually found someone who also believes in the universe as well. And it's actually really, it's really blown my imagination of what is out there. You know, if you really open up your heart, and Mark will tell you, I just used to go, Mark, what are you smoking, mate? You know what I mean? All this, keep going on about these vibrations and stuff, mate. You know, and you know, and it's taken me a while, but you know, it's blown my mind where you can go in life. You know, when you really start to open up your channels and let it all in. And I've opened up my heart, and you know, I am where I am. So yeah, thank you, mate.
So it's my pleasure. See, like attracts like, which is the important thing. Yep. And obviously we have to understand that, you know, on a vibratory level, you know, we do vibrate. Everything vibrates. The universe vibrates. The planet vibrates. We vibrate. And the way we change our vibration is the way we think and feel. And so if we change the way we think and feel, then our actions are different and we attract different things to us. And as soon as I started to get it, go on, Pete.
Yeah. And it was, and I know this is the crazy bit. After having that Monday half an hour on the phone to you, my phone rang the next day, and I hadn't spoken to this guy for 5 years. You're right, and he started to talk about this, and my little cog started whirring, and I was like, "There's something in this here. There's something in this here. I just got to work out what it was." And you know, by the end of the week, the guy was basically saying, right, let's go into business. You know, we can do this, you know, and it just completely changed. And I remember that Friday, I was absolutely buzzing with energy. and I just wanted to pick you up. And do you remember I rang you? I was like,
You rang me, yeah, I remember.
Buzzing on life. I just need to share this with you, mate. And you went, well, I told you.
Yeah, no one likes a smart ass, do they? Yeah, exactly. But the point is that, you know, it's about awareness. It's Lloyd mentioned it earlier. Jason's mentioned it. You know, everyone's mentioned it. Basically, it's about awareness. It's about awareness of what's going on around you and being open and actually like seeing the opportunities. Not being about me, but actually about, you know, you, or us. You know, what can we all do together? You know, because we'll be a lot stronger together than we will be on as individuals. And I think the sooner we realize that, and then, you know, we start to have a purpose, we start to add value to other people's lives. And Pete, you know, I'm not gonna jump the gun too soon, but I will probably say that with the Amazon connection, the company connection, all that kind of stuff, you know, within the next few years, maybe quicker, I think you're on target to be my first millionaire client and friend, I would say, you know, because I think you could do that, you know, with the contracts and things that are available to you. And I've got nothing but good vibes and good positive stuff for you, mate. Because I think that you know, I know you want to go into, you know, investment and property and everything else as well, and you will. I think it's brilliant, and I think many of us will, over the next 10 years, will create our dreams. You know, if you haven't created, I've created mine in the last 10, 12 years. But you guys will create every single dream that you've got. So people say, don't they? The negative ones will say, be careful what you think about. No, just think about what you want. Yeah, just think about what it is that you would like, and then get going and get moving for it. So
I think you said it earlier about when someone says something to you, you've got to look at what that negativity was. And I always remember, and you know, my English teacher standing me up in front of the class and saying to everybody, you will never succeed in life. And I've carried that with me since I was 14 years old, you know. And I got to the point where I was like doubling his wages, and I was thinking, I'm still not finished with you yet. You know, this Mr. Right. And the funny thing is, you know, someone said it to me the other day, last year, I think it was. He said, well, he was Mr. Wrong. And I thought, well, I never think that. You know, his name was.
But that's good. That's good. And you know, you got to watch out for this stuff. You got to watch out for this stuff. Anyone's watching who's got children, you know, kids in school and stuff like that. You know, you're allowing your children to go off and be taught. Yes, okay. And if that's what you want them to learn, yes, okay. But someone saying you'll never amount to anything, you know, that, and then you holding on to that for your whole life. Or do you know what? I've got a good friend who's just been diagnosed with cancer, and I am praying. I mean, I'm absolutely praying that someone doesn't say to him, "Oh, you've only got 3 months to live." A doctor, because that's just, you know, you don't say those things. You know, we got to live. We got to go for it. We got to think happy, healthy, wealthy thoughts, and then we will get the positive outcomes that we desire. And I wish someone had taught me this when I was 10 or 12 or 15 or 20. But guess what? I probably wouldn't be listening anyway, because I'd be in a disco having it large. But anyway, right. So let's keep going, guys. Let's keep going. Thank you, Pete. So we're going to go to next up to let's go back to Lloyd, and then we're going to go Penny and Gav. In my chapter, in chapter 14, I wrote about my perfect day. So one of the things I did when I wanted to escape the corporate world was I sat down and I wrote about what my perfect day was like. So it's get up in the morning, do some exercise at the gym or whatever, and then come back, live my purpose, eat healthy food, and then spend my evening with my wife. And then I've got a perfect year as well, which is not spending, 12 months in the UK, but perhaps escaping a little bit more in the deep, dark winter. But Lloyd, have you ever thought about your perfect day? I mean, it seemed to me that actually you kind of live it already, to be honest, at the moment. But what do you think about that?
I think it doesn't matter where you are and what your surroundings are. You could be in a Manhattan penthouse, you could be in a mud hut or a fantastic beach. If you're not at peace with your stuff, then it ain't going to be a good day. So my perfect, I mean, when I was going through many of those rehabs, they talked about finding serenity, and what is that? I think, my version of that serenity is being content to be exactly where I am, with who I am, doing what I'm doing, and not want for more. So I think, they say create a life that you don't need a holiday from. Yeah. I live on the Indian Ocean. I've got 12-kilometer white beach. I've got 2 beautiful dogs that love to go running on it. But none of that means anything if there's no peace. It doesn't mean anything if I'm walking down the beach and I've got my phone glued to my ear and I've got 30 people chasing me for stuff that I haven't done, and I'm worried about money because I didn't quite meet my target last month, and what am I going to do about the mortgage? So, you know, all of that stuff and the mismanagement of one's life wrecks one's peace and serenity. So for me, really, the perfect day is to wake up in this house, take the dogs for a walk on the beach, probably cook because I'm really into my cooking, and then relax with my wife. And relaxing with my wife means we might not even say a word to each other. We might just sit in the room and stare at absolute nonsense on TV, but we're at peace. Her phone's not going. My phone's not going. I've done everything. I've reached out to everyone I was meant to reach out. I've cleared it all up. Everything's done, and then I'm at peace. So serenity is that for me. It's being able to be still and be 100% content with what I've got, and I haven't got nearly a quarter of what I intend to go get still. I've done well in life. I bought myself a dream car when I was 50. I've got a house by the coast on a beach, and you know, this, that, and the other. But I've not, like you say, I haven't even started yet. I mean,
you're just warming up, but you have got a nice boat, and I'm not talking about your face, your boat race. I'm talking about your boat.
Yeah. I've got a nice, boat that we go. We put the boat in the water and take a picnic up the river and race up the river on that, or go out on the ocean on it. It's cool, but none of that. That's all a load of shit if you're not at peace, because there's nothing worse than trying to concentrate on mooring the boat, and you're trying to moor up and the phone's going mental and the wife's saying, did you do that thing with the dogs? Did you do that? I did it. Did you do your thing for your mum? It ruins it all. So there's no point having any of it if you're not at peace, because it's not worth it. Doesn't mean it's all ruined. So for me, the perfect day is just a day of serenity, being at one with myself, knowing that I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, doing what I'm doing, with who I'm doing it with, doing exactly what I'm doing. And the more moments I can find in my life where I can honestly, like right now, I mean it, right now, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else doing anything else with anyone else, because I'm thoroughly engaged in the moment, thoroughly enjoying myself, and I'm at peace.
Yeah,
that's
brilliant, mate. And we appreciate that. And I would say, you know, the subtext to Life Remixed, as you know, is looking beyond the dance to face the music. But it was originally Inner Turmoil to Inner Peace, but we thought that one might be a bit catchier. But the point
is as many of those days strung together as possible. And you know, the perfect year is 365 days like that at peace. I mean, it ain't going to happen in my lifetime. I know that much.
I must mention as well. I've seen it out from your balcony. You live onto a golf course, Pete. So he's got one of those houses by a golf course in South Africa. So anyway, also as well, you know, the big goal for us was certainly what we like, when we like, with who we like. And I wouldn't be anywhere else, as you say, Lloyd, than with you guys right now. I'm doing what I like, when I like, with who I like, and that is freedom. Ultimate freedom, getting paid for doing what I love to do. And then I've worked a lot on total acceptance, as you've read in the book, and total acceptance of myself means that I get serenity and calm. So
that's success.
Yes,
you know, the word success, you know, there's no number on that. You know, that just depends how far you want to keep going and chasing and chasing and chasing. And I think everybody should have a number. I certainly know that I've got a number. When I've got that number in the bank and I've worked out what that will pay interest for the rest of my life, I know I'll be able to fill my life with helping other people and doing cool stuff without chasing any more. But a perfect year is as many of those perfect days strung together where I'm just doing what I want to do, with who I want to do, when I want to do it. But more importantly, I've got peace from this thing. This thing, I mean, you know what I mean? If it's going and going and going and going, because I haven't done my housekeeping, all of those nice things aren't worth a pot, because you can't get peace or joy. You can't get joy.
It's about karma as well, isn't it? It's about I make sure every single day that I've delivered, now that after I've made all my mistakes that you've read about, it's about making sure that you give good karma, and you make sure that you actually you know, can rest well at night and sleep well, because you've done everything during the day. So that's brilliant.
Doing something for somebody and not getting found out, That's always a cool thing to do. Go and do something really good for somebody. But, you know, I don't need to go and do it and then come home and say to Darrell, oh, I just helped this guy. I did this and that. The other. That's not the reason for doing it. Go and do something. Go and help somebody, but don't tell a soul. Just
yeah, because then it's not about your ego. It's not about your ego.
Right.
But yeah,
it's not about your ego. You don't do it and you don't tell a soul. Don't get found out, and clear all your stuff up so that you can find moments of serenity where you're doing what you want to do, with who you want to do it, when you want to do it, where you want. I don't want to be anywhere else in the world right now. I'm serene. I am serene. I'm where I want to be, and God's put me right here, right now, for a reason. And
we appreciate you all the way down in South Africa, mate. And I know we know you're
I'm looking forward to coming over now. I booked a flight yesterday. I booked a flight. I got my double jab now. So I'm able to fly home in September. I'm so excited. I haven't been home for 2.5 years. It's mental. I haven't seen my dad. My daughter's running nightclubs in Brighton. I haven't seen my daughter. I'm so excited. So I'm looking
forward to those business meetings, Lloyd, for sure, mate. So thank you, mate. That's awesome. Let's keep going. Penny, perfect day, and then we'll come to Gav as well after that. What you got, Penny?
Wow, Lloyd just sums it up, really. What can you add to that? Perfect day. My perfect days are in progress. My perfect day is having my day with my little granddaughter, Aubrey. And, you know, working with Stacey and sharing everything I do with you, with the e-colours and everything with my family, in order for us to be a group. Stacey always says to me, it takes a village to raise a child. Just our family for now, Stace, not the whole village, you know. Let's not have too much input. But perfect day, perfect year. I mean, this is the first foot on the ladder for my perfect year. Meeting up with you, meeting all you guys, working with you, reading the books. I mean, I'm never read so many books. My English teacher would be really proud.
Yeah.
Said, Cooper, you'll amount to nothing. Okay.
Another one. Another teacher not giving out the good
I had them in English, maths, science, biology, and all sorts. I only went to school to socialise, Mark, as you know.
Yeah, you were trouble. You were trouble.
So no, I think we're on the ladder to the perfect year for me. But as Lloyd says, I mean, I have the days where it's perfect. You know, my family here, I'm feeding everyone. You know, I'm enjoying them. And enjoying my daughter, enjoying my granddaughter, son-in-law, husband, mum and dad are still here. I'm very lucky I've got both parents still alive, and brothers and sisters, you know. And it is about peace, really.
Yeah, because I think Lloyd's point is very interesting there as well, because you want to spend time with your daughter and your granddaughter, and yet actually, you know, if you had too much turmoil going on, you wouldn't necessarily enjoy that moment with your family. So, you know, when you take care of all the turmoil within yourself and then outside of yourself, then you can enjoy the moment and actually be really, really present, Pen. So I appreciate we're on our journey, Pen, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. So let's keep going. Gav, let's you unmuted, Gav? There he is.
Yeah.
His internet's hanging in there.
We're all good.
So perfect day, perfect year, because I know you're on your comeback trail now, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, as Lloyd said, like, a lot of perception involved here, because we have many a perfect day right now just to wake up and be able to breathe and be able to speak to people that we know and love. However, in regards to goals and dreams, etc., my perfect year would be spending a few months of the year in Sarasota. Love that place. A few more months of the year in Spain, and then some of the months here. And in regards to perfect days, that would be waking up with my face in the sun over in one of the keys in Sarasota, going for a swim, bite to eat, come back, spread some joy, do what I need to do, whether it be dealing with clients, checking up on the charity and the school, things like record labels, and then just going out for an evening meal and spending time with my boys. That's my goals and dreams. Yeah.
And we're on a coaching session on Thursday, so and I've got some stuff I want to show you. Actually, I've made a note. I've got a few videos and bits I want to show you that I think will really help you because you've got a goal. Well, we'll talk about future goals in a minute.
Yes.
I know you've got a really big goal, so that's cool.
Mm.
So thank you for that. And so let's keep going then. So let's go back to Jason. Jason, are you there? Yeah, you're good. Okay. Next question, Jason. Why do you think people should read Life Remixed, mate?
I think probably what I said at the start of the session, everybody can relate to your story, Mark. Yeah, it's about your personal journey, but I think everybody reads their own story into your reading your book. I know I did. I was reading your book and just mirroring my own life as you was going through the chapters. And then the bit I found so helpful was your advice, because it wasn't you must do this, you must do that. This is what I did. This is how I got out of this, the hole I was in, the negative things that happened to me more than once in my life and how you deal with it. It just helped me out. I was on a journey anyway. But, as you said, why do people meet up? I've known you for so long through the safety world. And yet when you made contact, I was totally unaware all this had happened in your life. It was only when we got chatting about coming on your show, we suddenly realised that, wow, the similarities between us was just amazing. But then I think everybody's the same. We've all had challenges in our lives. And sometimes I think people see me in the wheelchair, oh, you've had the ultimate challenge. No, I had one challenge and I've struggled to get over it. But just because your challenge is different, it might be a breakup in a marriage or an illness or cancer or whatever it is, that is your journey. And I think it doesn't matter what your journey is. Your life's full of pitfalls and it's going to be dark times and bad times. Like I said, I'm grieving at the moment for my auntie, really, very close. But I'm okay with grieving. I'm not before. I was terrified of getting upset in case I went off the rails. But I'm quite happy in this moment, much like Lloyd said. I'm grieving at the moment, but I'm so grateful for my auntie. We had some amazing times. She brought me up a lot of times while my mum was working. So it's not a case of I'm so sad. She was 87. She got, she went in hospital, didn't come out. It was really sad. But we celebrated life on last week. It was amazing. It wasn't sad. It was like, let's celebrate her life instead of grieve for her passing. Because at 87, she was full of illness. Her life was pretty tough. She lost a daughter a couple of years ago. My cousin died of cancer after a long battle. So it's learning that life is always going to be rocky. I have a quote. I'll just go up on my screen, Bobby, because what my memory's like with all the drugs and that. My memory's shocked a bit. But, I love this saying I've got, and it's a quote. I don't know if anyone's heard this quote. I'll not tell you the quote's by. The quote is, "The problem is not the problem. The problem is your attitude about the problem." And I use it all the time. I always quote people who said it. It was Captain Jack Sparrow. It was about to execute one of his films. He came out of that line. I use it all the time because it is. My problem was not the fact I was in a wheelchair. It was just the attitude I had about being in a wheelchair, and that's what. But I'm so grateful I'm in a wheelchair today because I can't change it anyway. So why keep searching for things that I can't do? I can't do that anymore. Just go with the things I've done. I mean, I've traveled the world. I've been to some amazing places because I'm in a wheelchair and the job I do today. So I'm grateful. In fact, it's my second thing. I'm a gratitude list every morning. First one is I always think about I've been blessed now. I've got 2 granddaughters. Second granddaughter's just been born. That's the first thing I'm grateful for every morning before I open my eyes. By the time I think of her cheeky little smile, I'm beaming anyway. And the second thing I'm grateful for every day is my wheelchair.
Yeah, nice.
And people say, why? So because without my wheelchair, I'll be laid in bed all day. My wheelchair gives me my mobility. So I am grateful that I wake up to my wheelchair. And I get goosebumps talk about that because for so long, that was such a native part of my day, waking up and seeing my wheelchair, reliving all what I went through every day because it was at the side of my bed, the thing that had taken everything from me. And yet I look at it now and think it's gave me everything. Everything I've got today is because I'm in a wheelchair. The greatest, I have a festival, which I hope you come to, Mark, still. You're still down.
We'll talk about that.
But I did that for my friends. I was so bad how I treated my friends, and they all kept with me, and through the darkest times of my life. And even in the book, I've not mentioned some of the things I did because I'm so ashamed of some of the things I've done. So my festival here is for my friends. There's no charge. I have bands on, whatever I do is a
DJs.
Thank you. Yeah, top DJs. Yeah. But it's a thank you for my friends for sticking by me when I was at my worst. And, I think that's it for me. Life is life. You have one go at it. And I've written that quote down about tiptoeing through life. so we can die safely. I mean, what a quote! Because what do we do? Live life every day. You don't have to be reckless. You don't have to take drugs anymore. I don't need to get high. I stay in the same state every day. I don't change my state. I'm good in this state. Some of the things Lloyd's, I've written those things down, Lloyd. I think those are your things I've written down. Just be grateful in the moment you're in, because why not? And if you enjoy those little moments, all of a sudden that year has been a good year. Without setting the stall out, what does my year need to be this year? Just set each moment out every hour. Just be content where you are. And all of a sudden you live the 24 hours and then it's a week and you don't know where your life's going to change. And small steps, make small changes in your life, not big changes. Don't search out one big thing. Just make little things. I do my little 50-minute routine every morning, my gratitude, breathing exercise. I have a cold shower every morning. I get out of bed, I get up that day in a different frame of mind. I think it was Penny mentioned that every day you can, or Charlotte, I can't remember who said it, that just getting up in a different frame of mind. And your day's different. So you have a better day because you've set up in the morning. So all these little things seem to add up. So that's my little...
One of the things I would say about that, Jason. No, it's lovely, mate. It's never a ramble, mate. You're very coherent and a great speaker, as we know. You've been on the public speaking circuit for many years, mate. One of the things I said about on Friday was about, we make gratitude lists to get ourselves into a vibration, but actually the vibration ultimately is just, I am grateful just to be here, right now. And I think one of the things that has shifted for you from what you've told me is that you've gone from what you can't do to what you can do. And if you be grateful and focus on what you can do, then you'll get more of that and you'll get good stuff, right? And that's what that's about for me. And your book, Paralysis to Success, I've read it. And you read my book first and told me that there was loads of synergy between us. I read your book and then also found out you were in E-colours, yellow, blue, like I was, a few years back. And I read your book and it was like you had a drum kit, you had music, you had all this stuff. You were like, you were totally into music. You had, and then all this stuff happened to you through your childhood and then through your. And I was reading it going, I understand what he's talking about. We're like brothers from other mothers. I mean, literally, you're in Nottingham in the Midlands and I was in London, but we could have basically just been, like literally connected to each other in some very, very close way with the football and everything else that we love, in our way, and both teams being European champions. Just had to drop that in. And so, yes, your festival is Anchor Fest. We'll talk about that, mate, in due course. I'll be in touch. And the other thing I would say to you as well, and I think you've probably already done this, the other thing I would say to you is if you haven't done it, make sure you keep doing it, is to forgive yourself for all the stuff that went on in the past, because do you know what? It as you say, it just happened. And forgive means to let go of completely. So, I think that's a good message for everybody. Jace, if you can forgive yourself, if I can forgive if everyone on this screen can forgive themselves and actually move forward to be in their creative zone and actually do positive things, then anyone else can do it as well. And I think that's a big point, right? So who else have we got? Charlotte. Let's come to Charlotte. Why do you think people should read the book, Charlotte?
So I just think it's kind of like the club everyone's invited to, right? I think I wrote in my review on Amazon, which if you haven't done already, go to Amazon and review. I wrote that there's energy in these pages, right? A bit like Julia, I read it kind of cover to cover in the time it got, takes to go to a club night. Basically, I read it, completely one sitting. It's really well written as well. It's really well written. It's really funny. It's really honest. It's very vulnerable too. You're prepared to sort of share all the kind of nick a drawer, if you like. And it's just a great read in that respect. I love books. I love stories. So it's a great read. But there is this energy. There's this kind of page turning energy. And now again, like so many of us, I'm going back and reading it more slowly just to pick up those pieces of wisdom, of humanness, of kind of here's some mistakes, but here's some ways to get over them. And, it's just it's so much fun. And I think why not read it really, if all of these people are kind of testifying to the experience that it's given them. And the other thing I'd say about books is normally, when somebody's really, you've thought about this book for quite a long time, a bit like Diana too, 10 years in the thinking, and then you're putting all this time and energy into making it. And I think then for the price of a pizza, you know, I can get this thing that somebody's poured this kind of like blood, sweat and tears into. It's a really good value thing. And the final thing I'd say is, for anyone that danced their way through the late 80s, 90s in my case, and early noughties, and also I completely crashed and burned in 2007, and then, you know, found my way into kind of my recovery. It's just a great positive way to reminisce about that time, you know, the highs, the lows and everything in between. So I think it's a real like story of this generation. You know, it's kind of, we all, well, so many of us were there on that club scene basically, and it's kind of nice to remember it all these years on as something that there were so many good times, like you say. But for me as well, there was a time when things definitely had to change, baby.
Yeah. I get that. I heard, this is what I heard on the radio earlier. It was someone else talking about their book, but it was like, you know, I thought this is perfect for Life Remixed. It's like a mini memoir wrapped up in a self-development book for people that have faced a crisis like a disease or a bankruptcy or whatever else that other people go through. And thank you for your beautiful, kind words, Charlotte. It's £10 on Amazon, everybody. You know, it's cheaper than a pizza. I'm joking. And by the way, all of these lovely people are joining him on the screen just to be a part of this and share in the love and the positivity. And I want to say again, and I'll say it at the end as well, but I'm massively grateful to every one of you for being here. You know, because it's a really important thing for us all to do for other people. So thank you, Charlotte. Who else we got there? Julia. Let's come to Julia. Julia, why should people read Life Remixed? Because you went through it a couple of times. Oh, hang on. I'll unmute you. There we go. Sorry, go again.
That's okay. Yes, I did. And, well, you know, I think I cried for about 3 weeks, constantly texting Mark, going, oh, I'm crying again. But, you know, the thing for me was that vulnerability. And despite Mark being like 6'4", it just made me want to mother him. And I went through all these kind of emotions. Some of it was guilt, because I thought, yes, there we were all having great time at Ministry of Sound. And then Mark had paid the ultimate price for that, with it actually made him really unwell. So that was quite a strange thing I felt around that. I thought, crikey, that's, you know, we're all responsible for this somehow. But no. The thing that I really felt was, and this sounds almost like an insult, but it's not. It's not brace yourself, Mark. But it's not rocket science what you've put in there. And I think that's why it resonates with everybody, because it's achievable. What you've done is you've written about stuff that anyone can do. You know, you're not talking about spending thousands of pounds on recovery or, you know, having any great thing. It literally resonates with everybody. You don't have to have had a problem. You know, for me personally, I just read it and thought, okay, I can make some really positive changes in my life. Stop worrying about things so much for a start. And just, you know, anybody can relate to it is what I took from it, really, the most. But yeah, I still do want to get on a box and give you a big hug.
Yes, well, that will happen soon. I'm sure about that. So you never know. We might be back up for a boat party in a few weeks, but I'll keep
absolutely you will be.
I'll keep you informed when Ben gets in touch. So, but thank you, Julia. That's lovely. Let me just mute you. I think we're coming to Gary next, aren't we, Gary? Reasons to be cheerful. No, reasons to read Life Remixed. What we got?
Oh, to be honest with you, I think the previous three guys that just went before me have pretty much said everything that I would say. But to sort of summarise what Jason said, it's relatable straight away. What Julia just said, the simplicity behind everything, it's not rocket science, as you said there. So they're the main reasons to really pick it up. The story is awesome. You can relate to some parts, all parts. There's comedy value in there. I think your brother, the great quote, the in-betweeners quote, for sure. And
hang on. Let me just share that. Let me share that, because I took the book round to my brother, because I'd mentioned my brother in the book a few times, and I was like, well, I don't really want him to sue me, and I don't really want him to sign a contract as such. So I'll just say to him, would you write a little endorsement at the front of the book? Because, you know, then he's, and to be fair, he wouldn't sue me. He loves me, my brother. He's, you know, and I love him. He's amazing. But he read it, and he was reading parts of it. And what he said was, he said, this is like an episode of The In-Betweeners crossed with a Tony Robbins seminar. And I must admit, he's very dry and he's very funny. And I was like, yeah, all right, Dan. Yeah, I said, I'll put that in the book then. And he went, yeah, all right. Okay, fine. Sorry, Gary. Go on.
No, I think the only other thing I was going to say is the other quote by Marcy as well, is that just to thank you for going through that for us.
Yeah,
we can learn from it pretty much.
That was a beauty. That was a beauty when Marcy Shymoff, superstar from The Secret, came on to Straight Talking interview and said, thank you, Mark, for going through this so that we don't have to. And thanks for writing it in your book and stuff like that. And I just thought that was really beautiful, Gary. So thank you for reminding me of that. Emma's just coming here and saying, what's she saying? The guy dancing to the car alarm was a classic. And when you needed some air and walked out of that was actually Hong Kong. I needed some fresh air, walked out of the club in Hong Kong. My glasses steamed up and I passed out on the pavement. Good times, people, good times. Anyway, so let's keep going. Thank you, Gary. That was really cool. So we're going to do future goals now, and we're going to whip round the screen, and we want to minute off everybody. I'm not going to time you, but you can tell us yourselves. But give us, you're going to be here. This is going to be on YouTube. Future goals. There could be 1 year goals. There could be 3 1 week goals if you want, but there could be 1 year goals, it could be 10-year goals. But let's go on record and actually say, I'm 50 and I know where I'm going for the next 10 years. And I've talked about myself enough. So I'm going to whip around the screen and I just want you guys just to throw in something. So I'm going to go in order as I can see it. So let's go with Diana first. If you want to unmute yourself, Diana.
Future goals. Well, clearly, obviously, get my book published. And then I'm training to become a motivational speaker, life coach, get off the front line. As you know, I'm a child protection social worker team manager. I'm done on the front line. I've done that to death. Need to move on. What else? Oh gosh, there's so much. So move on.
No, that's fine. Look, I mean, that's good enough to start with, isn't it? Getting a book out and then helping other people.
Do my PhD, write some more books. I've got quite a big list.
That's all right. Listen, that's important. So what I know about my goals, the rest of my life is mapped out in my goals.
Yeah.
I know what I'll be doing pretty much the whole way, 60, 70, 80, 90, but just keep adding value, giving service and doing good things. And I know that's my mission. So I know you're sharing that, Diana. So big love to you. Thank you. Let's mute Diana there and then let's keep going. Jason, future goals, mate. What have you got to prove next after 10 years on the public speaking to hundreds of thousands of people? What are you going to do next?
Yeah, well, more really. Obviously, I'm known in safety, aren't I? Jason Hatfield really talks about safety. Don't be like me. My old presentations. Don't be like me. Don't fall off the ladder at work. But now we've branched out into mental health and mental well-being. Look how that affects people as well. And obviously, Professor Tim Marsh, my business partner. I know Tim really well. I can't believe he's my business partner, a guy I looked up to forever in the safety world. I'm his business partner. It's ridiculous. But we really want to go into the area of mental health and mental well-being because we think we can save more people by creating nice places to go to work where people feel valued. Get up in the morning. You might be a cleaner, but if you go to work, you work in a great company with a great culture. There's nothing wrong with being a cleaner. Have a great day at work, so you go home in a good mood. You spend time with your family that weekend in a good mood. You go back. So money's not the driver in life. It's just being in a good place. You can have nothing, be the most happiest person, or have everything like I did and be totally miserable until I got my head around things. So yeah, that's my goals to achieve what doing safety. But in the mental health and mental arena world.
Brilliant. Well, I mean, all power to you, Jace. And I think, I know that you're going to achieve that with the profile you've got already and where you're going to go with that. I love it. And what I would say is one of the things that, I like is I prided myself, even in the corporate world when I was senior at Heathrow and at other places that you knew me, Jace, was that, I treated the cleaner and the director exactly the same. Because we're all people. We're all people and we're all just doing our thing. And as long as we're doing it to the best of our ability and we can keep improving, then, you shouldn't be treating people any different. And you should start with yourself as well. Be kind to yourself first and then go from there. But Jason, thank you, mate. Let's keep going. Julia, what's your goals there, Julia? Oh, hang on. I need to unmute you, don't I? There we go. Go on.
I think we've already said, I mean, it's just music for me. I think for a long time, I'd kind of thought I'd missed that boat, and now getting back in touch with you, I'm on a roll. So
can I share something with you? Actually, I'll share something with you. There's a book written by Pete Waterman from Stock Aitken and Waterman, and the book is called "I Wish I Was Me." Because basically everyone thought that he was living this dream life, but actually he was struggling a lot of the time. And do you know how old he was when he first produced that first hit, Kylie Minogue, "I Should Be So Lucky"? Do you know how old Pete Waterman was?
no, 50 odd. I don't know.
50.
Yeah.
And by the time he was 60, he was a multi-millionaire. So do not tell me what your voice isn't, and don't tell me, but seriously, you haven't missed the boat just because there was something going on then. This is now. So we'll live now and let's go for it. I'm starting to make records again. I'm doing books. I'm doing all sorts. There's nothing going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I want that for you as well.
I think that's what's happened. I kind of reconnected with all of that of my life where I thought it would have been in the past. And that's something I'm definitely trying to do rather than look back. Somebody, the famous quote, "Don't look backward, you're not going that direction," is very true. So, having thought, it's too, I've missed that now. It's got that ship has sailed. So that's my aim. Yeah,
well, I think, I want to assist you. I want to assist you wherever I can, Julia, because you've got a wonderful voice. So let's hear it soon. Let the rest of the world hear it soon. So let me keep going. Gary, future goals for you, my friend.
So I think sort of short term of working on it, we're working on it together, is to really solidify my purpose and also my exit from the corporate world in the next couple of years or so. And I think what that ultimately means is life coaching and property, which again we're talking about regularly. So I think 5 to 7 years, minimum 10 properties. Next couple of years, whenever we get back on being able to host events and that sort of thing, the aim is to be able to start maybe talking at events, taking on clients, and really working towards that sort of thing.
Love it, Gary. Brilliant, mate. Excellent stuff. Thank you. Let's keep going. Pete Ski, are you with us?
Yeah, mate, still here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I want to keep the business going and growing. With the final, I suppose the end that I see with that is obviously to gift it down to my family, and take an early retirement and spend a bit more time at the golf course. Which leads me on to the next one. I want to be a scratch golfer. I've got some other little goals. I want to speak another language fluently. I've always started that at the start of the year, given my New Year's resolution and just giving up. So I'd like to do a bit of that. I want to spend more time in nature with my family. I want to have a Spanish villa with a pool and a vineyard. I want to be in the next Life Remixed book. I want to have a chapter in there somewhere. And I guess, and I suppose we're all in this together, is our goal is just to lead a better life for ourselves. You know what I mean?
For ourselves, and like ripples in a pond for other people as well.
With a purpose.
You've got a life of the purpose of life is a life of purpose, and when you're driven and you've got your goals and you know where you're going, then you're in a good place. And what I would say is, you make a very good point, which I've spoken to some of my all of the coaching clients that were on the last group call that we had together. Generational wealth. That's a big one. That's a real big one. And the more that we all work together as teams in the families, the better we'll find generational wealth. So that's a separate issue. But yeah, good on you, Pete, for bringing it up, mate. So well done. Let's keep going. Penny, goals?
Yeah, well, we're working together with lots of those. I'm interested in the e-colours. I'm interested in, mind wellness. I want to work with youngsters that had kids like I did at 18. I don't know how that's going to set about or what. We're working on that. Hair and beauty industry is what I do. I want to give great service. I want to be in my own business. I want lots of different businesses that I really, really enjoy.
Absolutely right.
And just give great service to people really with whatever I do.
I would say one of the things I learned was multiple sources of income. And I've been studying that from Bob Proctor, Kevin Green, all the books I recommend to you guys to read and stuff like that. And it's come true for me. It will come true for you guys as well. But it takes a bit of time, bit of effort, a bit of understanding, a bit of awareness of what's available to you and how you can manufacture things and make things move and everything else. But once you get the awareness, nothing will stop you. But it's about overcoming. A lot of it's about overcoming fear for all of us. And some of us are given an opportunity, like I was when I was fired last time 3.5 years ago. It was an opportunity, crisis opportunity. Okay, let's go. Let's get on with it. And I think
COVID was my opportunity to link up with you, meet all you lovely guys.
There you go, Penny. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for that. Great stuff. Let's keep going. Charlotte, future goals. Well, we know about the soft launch this week of Starlight Books, which is your children's book publishing.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, the purpose that I defined here pretty much on the first ever coaching session, you set me a challenge and then I thought, right, I'm just going to write something down. And it was this thing of encouraging people to be star-like in their lives. And that's living with courage, hope, love and joy. So that's my purpose. And that obviously then starts with me. I've got to live with courage, hope, love and joy if I can pass it on to others. So it starts at home by, just being the best mum I can be and just, kind of patience and trying to be that role model. I want to be a better partner day by day to my lovely man, Phil, who, I can just see through this process and journey that we're all on. I can already see ways of doing that I couldn't see last year. And then, going out into the world, I want to qualify as a therapist. I want to publish many, at least 10 children's books by 2024. And you've been encouraging me as well, because I've been writing a blog with some letters to my lovely late father, John, since 2019. And you've been reading and saying, look, Charlotte, you should do a book of that. So,
Charlotte, I'll just interrupt. Letters to my father. That's a book. What you could write it. Honestly, it's already written. It's already written. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, thank you. And it just means such a lot, because actually this does connect back. He's, my dad had been saying for 20 years, have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? Because I've been talking about writing since being a teenager, but I've just stood time after time. I've just stood in my own way. And I don't know if you know what I mean by that, but I've just become my own block in the process, usually by making up a story in my head that it has to be perfect before it's allowed out. And that will kill anything off, right? It just will kill anything off. So the fact that I'm here today with, just about, and the first book will be dedicated to my dad. And he's actually drawn by my beautiful illustrator. She's drawn him into one of the illustrations in the book. I could actually cry. I'm really good, because I can't believe this is happening. And it's his birthday,
hang on, wait.
as well today. So I'm so
Julia's going, Charlotte.
It's his birthday. He would have been 74 today, and I dreamt about him 2 nights on the trot, and I could actually really feel his presence in my dream, like he physically put his arm around me. And then I dreamt about him last night. And this is what can happen here. It's not that we arrive with nothing. We all arrive with so much talent, so much potential, so much energy. But there's something about being here in this peer group and just having people's belief all around you that gets those roadblocks out the way, basically. So, I'm so enthusiastic. But, the journey starts with I've got to practice every day on being the person that I then want to encourage others to be. And I learned that again from your talk with Emma the other night. I thought it was brilliant what you said. If you want to attract a partner that's got all these qualities, right, first of all, you got to do it yourself.
And thank you for bringing that up, because that was a very well received interview with Emma. I don't think she realises quite how funny. Well, actually, I said that to her. I said, "You don't realise how funny you are." She just looked at me and went, "Yeah, I do." I was like, and the other thing I would say is, I'll just let the cat out of the bag here a little bit for you, Charlotte. Emma would like to write a children's book as well, so you might be helping her at some point, yeah. So we all help each other here. That's just the point. We all give each other a leg up. We all get moving, and that's how it works. So you never know. Emma's children's book could be on Starlight Books one day. Who knows? So,
I would love to. Yeah, anytime. We'll chat.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Charlotte. That's amazing. Let's keep going. Just 2 lads left. Lloyd, future goals, my friend.
I think business-wise, I've got 2 events that I want to attend in the next 18 months. One of them, we've started negotiations today to do Delicious in New York. So I'm really excited about getting Delicious out there and doing that show.
Actually,
and the other
Lloyd, tell people about Delicious and what it is first.
It's now the biggest food and music festival in Africa. We have 50,000 people, but it's all based on retro music. So I mean, the first year it was Jamiroquai. We've had Soul to Soul, Brand New Heavies, Incognito, all the stuff I grew up on. Omar. We've had the Jacksons, we've had Macy Gray, we've had Arrested Development, we've had Erica Badu, blah 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 blah. But big thing is to get it live in New York, in Central Park. And Louis Vega's my business partner over there, so we're working. I was on the phone with Louis half of the day today, getting the venue locked down and getting the permits in place. And then the other one for me is to attend a Life Remixed event in London, sold out, with all these people, and meet them and have a dance and hang out and have a drink. I mean, that would be for me a big career tick, because you know we're having these discussions, and I think there's a great energy around a Life Remixed day out or afternoon out. I'd like to be behind that show, and I'd like to see it sold out. And I think for me, for the year, it's just more moments of serenity, more moments where I can actually just sit and say, I am serene. And that means probably less people on my phone, less groaners. You know, I don't ever want to look at my phone and see someone's name come up and think, oh no, I don't want to. Do you know what I mean? So less groaners on the phone. So it means cutting out the bad energy people, and Life Remixed events and Delicious New York, and as many fleeting moments of serenity, because they're only fleeting. They only last nanoseconds when you're sitting there and you're thinking everything's just perfect. I'd like to grow that out from a nanosecond to maybe 5 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Brilliant, Lloyd. Brilliant. And in case you hadn't noticed, obviously, Lloyd and I are talking about a lot of stuff. Lloyd's helping me get the Kenny Thomas track out there through My Soul, My House Radio. So I'm talking to those guys. The Kenny Thomas track will be out soon. Maybe even Kenny and I might make an appearance at your festival, Lloyd, one day soon. And then of course we're looking at the London events, and Lloyd does event sponsorship. Hello, there we go. So the universe works, right? It just works when you're in, and watch it happen. Just keep watching this happen. You guys are all involved in it. There'll be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other people all involved in it, and all doing something that actually makes something positive happen for as many people as we possibly can. Because I'd like to
just see what it's like. I mean, obviously clean and sober for 11 years, but I'm an old raver. I was at the Ministry when it first opened all weekend and blah 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 blah. But I would like to be involved in a Life Remix event, which is, Mark doing a presentation, some fantastic food, and then a DJ set. I'd like to see us all leave that event feeling higher than we've ever been back in the day, leaving the clubs Sunday lunchtime absolutely mangled. We thought that was high. We thought that was brilliant. I'd like to see us all leave that event and look back and say, now we really know what getting high is. Do you know what I mean? And we're all clean, and we're all waking up in the morning, and we're all going to manage our responsibilities. I think that would be an achievement.
I think we'll give Lloyd a little round of applause for that. Yeah, that's a rousing speech, Lloyd.
I'd love to see it. I've never been to anything that has lifted me the way we used to be lifted, albeit okay, some of it was synthetic. But I'd love to go and be a part of something where everyone genuinely walked out buzzing their face off, but got in their car and drove home without getting arrested.
Legally, yeah.
Legally. I'd love to be a part of that. I'd love that to be the next generation of events for our generation, where we can go and get high. And I'm not talking about, getting high on the Holy Spirit and the happy clappy, all that rubbish. I'm talking about positive people, positive energy, great music, great food, great environment, and leaving it going, wow, that was fucking brilliant. I loved it. I want to create that for people. I want to be the architect of those kind of experiences.
I'll tell you what, Lloyd, we have a shared vision there, my man. So that's awesome. So thank you, mate.
Make it happen.
And what I have to say now is follow that, Gav.
Yeah. Well, it's a good job I've never been a follower in it, because I love all of your goals, all of them. You've all got great goals, and they're all beautiful. So I love it. Each and every one of your goals are great. My own goals, a lot of them are longer term. Some big ones that are long term. But first up, really, have to be my shorter term goals, which is my ongoing work with Mark, the loving and accepting myself, the work I'm doing on myself, all the coaching. And ultimately that once and the reading of the books and everything are coming so far so quickly that will ultimately is just paving the way for my longer term goals and my larger goals, which I can feel, and I know they're going to happen. So I've got some shorter term goals which are quite small in comparison to the bigger goals, which is creating a charity for special needs kids that ultimately builds a school to educate special needs children. That's my largest goal. That's my ultimate goal. But it's got little tentacles to that, where there are other goals that I've got to do with music, record labels, and property companies as well, and to actually be financially free, if you like, or have multiple streams of revenue, and to create my own happiness, which, as Charlotte was saying, all of my life, or I've got in my own way. And when you realize you're responsible for your life and the universe and your thoughts, your feelings, and everything else, that you just start seeing you're getting you're out your own way. So I'm getting there. Really, I'm getting there in a short space of time. So yeah, I've got so many goals now, and purposes as well. And one of my purposes is to just spread joy, bring happiness and joy, and to make people's lives better. That's one of my purposes as well.
One of the things. Yeah. That's the big goal for all of us. And one of the things I'm going to talk to you about on Thursday, Gav, just as a little taster, is that there are plenty of people that have done stuff like that who haven't had the money themselves, but they've actually mobilized money to actually make something happen. And I think that's something that we're going to talk a lot about on Thursday. It's not down to you to necessarily, I don't want you to think, oh no, I need all this money. All you've got to do is have the idea and the vision. And the vision, and then to drive it through with your energy, and other people will respond to that. And I'll show you some inspiring videos about it.
As Bob Proctor says, Mark, it's not up to me to decide how. Like when I go and switch that light on or off, I don't sit there working out how the electricity gets from outside into my house. I'm not concerning myself with how. I mean, at some point there'll need to be some small consideration in regard to that, but I don't sit there and work out how water gets into my tap and how, I'm not bogging myself down with a how.
Yeah, absolutely right. And that's right, because, you need to dream. You need to dream, and then it will start to take shape for you. And we're going to work more on that together.
Focus too much on the how, Mark. It develops into a fear, and fear kills more dreams than ever, So,
boom. Drop the mic. Breathe into the microphone, Gav. Well done, mate. That's, So listen, we're almost there. We're almost getting there. It's going to be it's an amazing evening. Emma's just saying, Gary, you're brilliant. Love Pete for everything she's saying. Charlotte, beautiful words. Less Groaners, another classic from Lloyd, along with Lessons from the Dog. And Jason's just put up here, great last book club, so inspirational. The Life Remixed journey has already started to change my life, and I know I'm barely started. Thank you all. Thank you, Jason. Mate, listen, it's okay. This crisis that we go through, my crisis, every single person you can see on the screen has been through something and come out the other side. One of my favorite films is A Shawshank Redemption, where he finally swims through the sewer pipe, comes out the other end and goes, oh, yes, you know what I mean? I'm free and I can actually achieve what I want. So I'm just going to read you a little bit from Life Remix just at the end here because I can, and I love you all, and you're all here. So see what you think. It's right at the end. It says, I say, you can remix your life too. You just have to decide to do it. Make the decision to become the person you would like to be, the person you've always wanted to be, the person that you know you can be. All these achievements are within you right now. If you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions to develop the attitude and great habits as part of the person you're working to be, I've shared the strategies to get there in these pages. I hope you're enjoying the journey of your life right now, and I suggest you go back through the book and do all the recommended exercises over and over again. Remember on this, repetition is mastery. To decide and commit is the only way to be, do, and have everything you want in your life. Ta-da! There you go. Yeah, I mean, that's the last couple of things. And then I'll just read the remix opportunities because I think they're worth sharing. Right at the end of the chapter, believe in miracles. Emma's just put, keep it together, Wilkes. I'll keep it together, Ems. Don't worry, it's fine. I'm an emotional man, but it's good. Believe in miracles. That's how we started a couple of hours ago. Happiness starts within you, always within you. It's not outside of you. Pleasure is outside of you, but happiness is within you. Be happy first and then attract other happy people. You are successful every day that you can be here to give something. You can remix your life exactly how you would like it to be. Believe in yourself. You've got this, and big love. And there we go. And there we go. That's all the remix opportunities. So thank you all very much for being here. I think you can all start to unmute yourselves if you would like to, because I think it'll be nice just to hear you all just before the end.
Are we doing trousers or no trousers?
I haven't forgotten about trousers or no trousers, and people can start to guess. People can start to guess. Actually, you just need to put the name of the person that you think is wearing no trousers. Okay, so anyone who wants to get involved, the person that you think is not wearing any trousers this whole 2 hours. Oh. Are you coming in? Okay, all right. Emma's just turned up. I didn't know she's surprising me with something. But anyway, I just want to let you all know as well that remember the audio book is coming out in the next few weeks. So I've spoken. If you want my dulcet tones and you want to be able to go to sleep with my voice or drive in the car, I think we just lost someone there. I don't know who we lost. Anyway,
someone's just got to put their trousers on.
Yeah.
I looked at my screen expecting it to be Gav and his internet connection, and it wasn't.
Yeah. We've lost Gary, but yeah, the audiobook's coming soon. Sweet music with Kenny Thomas also coming soon, and trousers or no trousers. To be honest, we've got a guest that's come in that pretty much is gonna. I think he might be bang on the money. So we're just going to throw this on the screen and see what happens. Oh, Gary's back. Hold on, Gary's back. We do need Gary back. All right, Gaza. We've got a guess for trousers or no trousers. I'm going to throw it up on the screen. Let's see what happens, and then that person then has to show us whether they've sat through this whole thing with trousers or no trousers. I don't know. I don't know. Is it Gav? Gav, would you like to reveal? Are you trousers or no trousers?
Dun, dun, dun.
No trousers.
No trousers.
We did. I'm going to let you into a little secret earlier. We had a little negotiation about that.
We did, Mark, didn't we? Oh,
we had a little. I was insisting on boxers. And he was going, can I get away with shorts? Can I get away? And I was like, no, boxers, come on. He was like, anyway, so.
I actually thought, when I put myself forward for it, right, it didn't even dawn on me till later on. I rang Mark. I was like, Mark, am I the person who's guessing? Like, because I thought, that'd be fun to try and guess. Like, and Mark's like, oh, you volunteered. And it wasn't until later. I'm like, hang on a minute. If I just volunteered to be, and I'm like, well, I've got to have a word with him today because I am not standing up and showing everybody my keks. I said I wouldn't do that to your clients, Mark.
I think you should have gone the whole hog and gone commando.
I've been joined by a very special guest. I'm not sure why.
Hello.
Yeah, can I just say, this last book club has been incredible. You were all such inspirational people. When I said to Wilkes, keep it together, I was literally thinking, oh my God, I'm going to cry. Sure. Everybody's so good. Like the dream of the Life Remixed event, like we've been talking about that for years. And you're all such just special people. And I know Mark's he's going to go. So that's why I'm here as well. This is a book club takeover. Julia and Pete asked me to be involved in something, so I'm going to pass over the microphone to Pete if I can.
Okay. Go for it.
So you're going to have to bear with me a little bit here, Mills, Wilkie, because it was literally last minute, and I put some words together just to finish things off. So I've kind of hijacked it right at the end. It's from the heart and it's from us all, really, mate, to be honest with you. So bear with me. Mark, you've brought us all together. You've brought us DJs, which some of us have idolised for many years. You brought us authors from across the globe. You brought us Netflix stars. You brought us MBEs. You brought us a message from Bob that brought many to tears. You brought us hours and hours of live DJing through lockdown. You brought us happiness, sadness, and everything in between in the book. You motivated us. You've coached us. You've guided us. You've lifted us, and you've never given up on any of us. You've provided for us by sharing your knowledge and wisdom. But what I'd like to thank you for the most is you brought us all together. You've created a community, and you're creating many friends across the world. So we'd like to thank you, Mark. And this kind of started with myself and Julia during a lockdown session, probably fueled by gin and vodka. And I didn't really know Julia, but you know, she's become a really great friend, and I love her voice messages. I really do. And I kind of apologize. I have to apologize because I tried to reach out across the community to as many people as I could, but obviously I could only go so far with friend requests and things like that. A lot of the people are already on the group tonight, but I just want to mention, obviously, Julia for helping me with this, Dave Fulis, Shaz, Daz, Gav, who's on the call, Jason Thornton, Diana, my sister Caroline, Matt Evans, Penny, and Oz. And of course, there's a huge one that's going to be, have a surprise in a minute, hopefully, if this works out. And that's from Rev for doing something absolutely fantastic. It took us a while to try and think what we could actually give you, mate, you know what I mean, as a thank you from us all, from the community. And, you know, I really wish I could have brought everybody together. But hopefully, if this works, Emma's got something for you.
Wait, do you know what, Pete? First of all, those beautiful words. I've just got a note that's come up on the screen. It says, "Take the bins out." It's just popped up.
Yeah, good. Keep it real. Keep it real.
Keep it real. Take the bins out. When you've done all the emotional stuff and opened the present, get the bins out. Right. Anyway, thank you. Wow, Pete, those words and all of you. I've got a few tears going on it. And I'm really grateful to every one of you for those beautiful words. It's been, what a year it's been. I just need to get in here. Is this Rev as in Rev in Norwich, Julia? Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I've looked at some of his stuff and it's pretty special. He's wrapped it well. You can all just hold on for a bit. Okay, can you pull that? I'm being gentle.
Be gentle.
Keep it clean.
Very wrong, Mark.
Keep it clean.
Ah.
Oh, amazing.
Ah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Wicked. It's amazing. It really is amazing.
Right, I'll do that as well.
Now open it.
You need to take this apart.
Here, open it, Mark. Open it, love.
No. I just wanted to show the message. It's beautiful. Oh my goodness. No. Do you know where this is going in our house? No, you haven't got a plan for it. Okay. I thought we should have a plan. Oh my goodness. Oh, what? Oh, that's amazing. Look at that.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Oh, hang on. I don't know if you can see it. Hang on. Yeah, can you all see that? Ministry of Sound Life Remixed. Look, that's amazing.
It's brilliant.
That's amazing. What a talented man Rev is. That's beautiful.
Thank you, Rev.
Yeah, thanks, Rev. I really appreciate it, man. I'll be sending him a message straight after.
Beautiful.
That will get pride.
After you've taken the bins out.
Yeah, take the bins out first.
Let's remember one thing: we're never going to find serenity unless we take the bins out.
You know what, mate? You're so right. You're so right.
That might be the name of my book. Take your bins out.
Take your bins out. Stop messing about. Get those bins out. Anyway,
Take your bins out.
Works.
Look at that.
Thank you to Julia and Pete for coming up with
a great idea. It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's great likeness as well. Fantastic.
Can I just
It's
say
a beauty.
Trevor is such a talent, and he just doesn't believe in himself. I think he needs like a free course with like a coach, maybe.
Sure.
I think you're right.
Where would he find one of those? I wonder, eh?
Rev spent hours messaging me saying, "Do you think he'll like it? Is it any good?"
It's brilliant.
We have
It's
just
fantastic.
You can't see it properly there, but I'm
I've
sure
seen
Mark
the
can
picture,
share a
though.
close up. But it is
See a
outstanding.
picture.
It really
Yeah,
is.
absolutely. I mean, I've seen the picture and it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So
He needs to realise how good he is, or
he does.
whoever
We tried to
is.
get him on tonight, and he won't come on, but we should.
Saw that and was like, "Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing."
Me too.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
I will reach out to him and say thank you, because that's amazing. I saw him up in Norwich last weekend, and he wanted a signed book, and I signed it for him. And he was saying how much the book's helped him, and you've got to believe in yourself. You know, you can be the most talented. When I was a kid, there was DJs that were way more talented than me, but they only DJ'd in their bedroom. They never actually got outside into a nightclub and put a record on in front of people and tried to mix and tried to like entertain and get people. They were way better than me technically, but they didn't have the belief. Yeah, they didn't have the belief. And the point is that if you want to achieve anything in life, you must believe first. Believe first, and then you'll see it turn up in your life. And everything we've spoken about tonight, and every single one of you, your future goals, your beliefs, the things that Lloyd and Pete and everyone, Charlotte, every single one of you with a dream, Diana, every single one of you, I would name you all, couldn't I? But every single one of you with a dream and something you want to achieve, you're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. And I'm here to support you, cheer you, and absolutely love every one of you. So I think we've just tipped over 2 hours. I want to say thank you to every single one of you from the absolute depths of my being, my heart.
Thank you, Mark.
Soul. I'm grateful. I'm
you.
grateful. I am grateful, and I know you are as well. So go and enjoy the rest of your evening. We've got a huge amount of feedback. You can look online and see all the comments and all the channels and everything. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll see many of you again on Thursday evening anyway for the private group call. Massive, huge love to every one of you, and we'll talk very, very soon.
Take care.
So cool.
Bye.
Stay where you are, guys.
Big love.